The last couple days have been dinghy fix-it days. We spent yesterday up on the beach. Friend Kyle from Blowing Bubbles helped us repair one of our beach wheels that was broken. And today we are here at the Kerikeri Yacht, or Cruising Club officially, to meet with someone who's going to help repair one of the straps on our dinghies for the seats. Not quite sure how it happened, but you can see this strap is coming loose. Doesn't hold us in a seat very well. Figured while we're here in New Zealand, take the opportunity to get it fixed. Okay. It may not have looked pretty, but my dinghy hauling method sure was effective. Tim from Northland Inflatables was kind enough to give us a ride into town so we could do something other than just have to swim back to Starry Horizons. Well, Little Dipper's getting worked on. We're out exploring New Zealand.
Kerikeri. Yeah.
Kerikeri. And where are we at right now?
We're at the Old Stone Store.
The Old Stone Store. And wait, you ask, why is it called the Stone Store? I have an answer for you. Ta-da! Kerikeri wasn't so good with the creative names, but it was a beautiful part of New Zealand. Our friends Kyle and Shelley from Blowing Bubbles joined us on the Rainbow Falls Walk, which was a fantastic way to pass the time until Little Dipper was ready again. We heard on the Cruisers Net this morning that there was a waka racing thing going on this weekend, which fits in nicely because we're going to try to get over to the Waitangi Treaty Grounds, and this will be a little bit of a traditional weekend, I guess, for us. And I don't know if you can see, but they're out there racing like right now. We are still here in the Bay of Islands, and we're off to somewhere Amy has been wanting to go for a long time. Where are we going?
We're going to the Waitangi Treaty Grounds, which is where they signed the agreement between the Maori people and the British. And we're gonna go have a Hāngi and Concert, hopefully see some traditional Maori dancing and crafts and stuff.
A little bit of a cultural evening.
Yeah.
The treaty grounds are located just north of Paihea and are a can't-miss stop when you're in the Bay of Islands. After all, it's not all that often you get to visit the literal birthplace of a nation. Before the Hāngi and Concert, we took some time to visit the museum and tour the grounds. The museum was really well done and walked us through the growth of the relationship between the Maori and British, leading to the signing of the treaty on February 6, 1840. The museum also talked about the impact of the treaty on the growth of New Zealand, and didn't shy away from mentioning that there were vastly different interpretations of the treaty by the British and the Maori due to problems with the translations. What is that?
So this is a punamu, which is a touchstone, and you're welcome to touch it. But the water is said to cleanse after visiting a tapu place, which is a sacred place. So you take the water and sprinkle it over your head and body. Nice little Maori ritual. It's a very pretty stone.
Once we were done with the museum, we still had a bit of time before the Hangi. To fill it, we checked out some of the outside attractions on the grounds.
What are we looking at here?
That's a really big canoe.
Yes,
a war canoe, nonetheless.
Tell us about the war canoe.
So my understanding is that this was built, started in 1938. Took them 2 years, but they did it in preparation for the 1940 centennial celebration of the 100 years Waitangi Treaty signing. So It's pretty damn cool, and apparently it's the largest ceremonial canoe in the world, and they'll still take it out for Waitangi Day celebrations. It's a lot of people required to row that thing.
How many people do you think could fit in that?
Oh, more than on Starry Horizons. The last stop on our tour was up at what is now known as the Treaty House, but was originally known as the Residency. It was where James Busby conducted much of his official business as the British government's representative in New Zealand, and it was on these grounds where the Maori chiefs first came to sign the treaty. So here we are in the beautiful courtyard of the Governor Residence House, British Residence House. What does Amy care about?
It's a garden. We have rosemary and mint and parsley and like oregano or something. Stuff that I don't know.
No love for historical things.
Smell the rosemary. Smells good, yeah.
Does smell pretty good. We've toured the grounds. Now it's time for the main event.
Yes.
What is this thing?
It's a Hāngi and Concert. So we have dinner and then we have a show.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, kia ora everybody.
Kia ora.
My name's Dwayne, I'm your Hāngi chef for the evening. We're just going to talk a little bit about the Hāngi, what's going on with the Hāngi and what it's all about. And the definition of the term Hāngi means an earth oven. So basically it's kai or food that's been cooked in the earth. We've dug a hole in the earth, we've got a whole lot of manuka wood that we've stacked on top, and on top of that we've got a whole lot of volcanic rocks and river stones. So what would happen in the day is the pyre would be set alight, would heat the rocks up white hot, red hot, and when the manuka burned away, the rocks would fall into the pit, and that would form the basis of the heating for the earth oven. What would happen then is a kite or a basket full of kai or food would be placed on top of the hot rocks, then appropriate green leaves would be placed on top of that, and then the earth would be placed on top. And it could be left for 2, 3, 4 hours depending on the size of the group that you were feeding. So that's a traditional Maori earth Hāngi oven. This one here, this is a modern day traditional earth oven. Okay, so it's exactly the same as the one over there. Okay, because I've had a big pile of rocks here, and I've had a big pile of rocks there that I've been heating up white hot, red hot. We haven't been able to use the traditional fire, so we've been using the world famous Ngāpui fire sticks. We've lifted the rocks into the pit, and on top of it we've placed a basket the same size as this one is in there now, and it's got all our our pork bellies, our pork scotch, our legs of lamb, our chicken, and it's also got our root vegetables, our potatoes, our pumpkin, and our kumara, which is sweet potato. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to unveil the Hāngi. So we're going to have a look and we're going to see if it's cooked.
I don't trust you.
Don't drop it.
Oh, we're going to be fine.
Okay, so basically, watch out you guys, there's a lot of steam. It's been cooking for about 2.5 hours and it's still cooking now. Okay.
Call the car, Billy.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so basically while I was heating the rocks today, I took a walk through the Ngāhere or the forest, and I gathered a whole lot of native fauna to line the basket with. So gathered a whole lot of mamaka fern, we've got kauri leaf, we've got kawakawa, we've got manuka, we've got marapua, and we've also got mangrove leaves. So apart from salt, that's the only flavour that you're going to taste in the Hāngi tonight.
As part of the evening, I was elected as one of 3 chiefs, which came with a few extra perks. When we walked from the dining room to the meeting house, the chiefs had to confront warriors along the path and pass their challenge before the group would be allowed to continue on. The combination of the darkness, the fire, and the genuine fierceness of the warriors made for a very intimidating experience. The last challenge was at the meeting house itself, and once it was passed, we received a traditional Maori welcome before going inside for the cultural performance. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to film, but Amy's pictures came out amazing. Part of being chief meant we got first crack at the food, and then we had to thank everyone for coming. Each of the chiefs definitely had a distinctive style. That was a fantastic night. Thank you all very much for being part of this with us and the chiefs. Hope you enjoy the rest of your stay in New Zealand. Make sure to come back.
Chief number 2.
How was the Hangi?
The Hangi was great.
Oh, we're so full.
The show was awesome.
That was really, really intense and impressive.
Yeah, it's very good. It was exactly what I wanted, a good cultural Maori experience.
And I got to be chief.
Chief David.
Chief David from now on. Remember that. Chief David.
I'm still the admiral.
Never going to be outranking her.
I don't normally do this. Normally David holds it. Yeah, way out there. Hey everyone! Today I'm off on an exciting adventure with Shelly! Yay! There she is. Okay. Shelly and I just got dropped off at the Russell Boating Club, and we are going to walk the Bay of Islands Loop. It involves 2 ferries and probably 4 hours of walking. So we're excited. It's going to be great. We're starting in Russell, and we're going to Okiato, which is about a 2-hour walk, and then we take a ferry over to Opua, and then at low tide we walk from Opua to Pahea, and then we take the ferry back to Russell. So it's quite the day.
I was a bit optimistic on my time estimates for the hike, but Shelly was a good sport and great company. The first part, Russell to Okiato, was pretty much your typical New Zealand forest. There were lots of ferns and trees, but also a few atypical signs along the way.
What'd we find, Shelly? What'd we find?
Please do not feed the zebras. So we're looking for zebras.
Where the heck are the zebras?
Here, zebra, zebra.
After a stop in Okiato to see friends and have lunch, we finally managed to get on the ferry. This was one of my favorite parts of the trip, as we'd seen them going back and forth quite a bit from Starry Horizons, but it's always more fun watching the ferries maneuver from up close.
I guess that's probably the best. Alright. So we made it halfway. We are in Opua. We just got off the ferry. And it's about 2 o'clock, so we've been going for 4 hours. And so now we get to do the walk from Opua to Pahea, and then take the ferry from Pahea to Russell. But in Pahea, we're going to reward ourselves with some ice cream.
The walk from Opua to Pahea is primarily done along the beach, and several sections are inaccessible during high tide, which is why we had to time things so carefully.
We made it! So close, actually. There is the Pahea dock. And, oh, you can't see Starry Horizons from here. They're behind the island. Maybe we'll see them from the dock. I think we're tired. We've earned some ice cream.
Unfortunately, the ferry was just about to pull away from the dock when we got there, so ice cream had to wait just a bit longer, but it was still so worth it.
How good is that ice cream, Shelly?
This is the best ice cream ever.
The best ice cream. We got the Memphis Meltdown.
Memphis Meltdown
Caramel.
Well, let's see. Fitbit says we've done 30,416 steps, 20.44 kilometers.
Wow.
And went up 117 flights of stairs.
Holy cow.
That's what Fitbit says. So we earned ice cream.
We did earn ice cream.
Back at the boat, we had some nasty weather coming our way, but some surprise visitors helped to lift our spirits.
Wow. What is he doing?
Showing off for the ladies. Well, that's pretty damn cool, huh?
Thank God it's not raining.
Yeah.
Everybody is out on the boat watching the dolphins.
The skies turned rather ominous, thanks to a weather phenomenon that we'd come all the way down to New Zealand just to avoid. So we've been pretty lucky with Cyclone Cook passing by. It hasn't been too bad here, just a little bit of wind, mostly just a lot of rain. It turned out the worst of the weather passed to the east of us, and once it was gone, it was time to make new travel plans. We've been having a few internal debates recently. We've been enjoying sailing around the Bay of Islands, but we're getting ready to head north towards Tonga. Fortunately, the weather's not really cooperating. What just passed by us?
Cyclone Cook.
I don't like cyclones. That's why we came down to New Zealand. They're not supposed to be here. But it looks like the weather might be clearing up after the cyclone comes by, so we're thinking about making a jump up to Tonga now. We had a very narrow window in which to make the run up to Tonga before we were scheduled to head back to the States. We pulled into the marina to finish up last-minute projects, and when the weather turned as predicted, we set off to start sailing north. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out our last video from New Zealand. Couldn't believe it, we set sail north to Tonga. We got a few people thinking we were a little crazy because we ended up leaving in April, but we made it. Just spoiler alert. So thanks for following all our adventures in New Zealand. We had a fantastic time there, but we were super excited about getting back to cruising. Check all the links below, Facebook, our blog, all that fun stuff, and make sure you hit subscribe to keep attuned of all of our adventures coming up in the South Pacific. Thanks everyone.